I am live. Woo. Boy, oh boy. I don't feel alive. But what a hell of a week. Let's see. Nats man, he's going to be a few minutes before he gets on. Sorry, I'm a day late, dollar short. Elite Hunters has got his 22 national stuff going on. Everybody is. I'm just going to do a live chit chat. I had a hell of a ride home yesterday. I was planning on coming on last night. I didn't get to. I just stopped at my dad's house in Virginia. I was kind of planning on it, but I thought I'd be there a lot earlier than I was. And man, I just didn't get there till 10. After 10, we watched the last. I watched the last half inning of the Giants game, and then me and him talked for a minute, and I went to bed. What's up, Scott? How you doing, buddy? I'm barely hanging in there tonight, Scott. I can tell you that right now. I was going to come on, a little surprise, instead of doing a video recap, just do it live. Talk to people, see who's on here. I invited a couple people, see if they want to come on. I don't even think like a couple of people, I just sent an invite, and if they get it, they come on. More power to them. It's Monday night. Let's have a little fun. Get ready for the football Hall of Fame this week and game and everything. So went to the National. Everybody knows that. I'm fired up, still fired up. I saw you in lots of videos. I heard the same thing. I didn't even know they were fired up. I had an awesome time, Scott, at the show itself. Hey, Dean, how you doing? Oh, we got somebody here. Oh, Andy's wearing a cool shirt. Hey, Nats, man. Nats, man, I'm sorry. I'm still tired.
Do it yourself.
I invited him. What's up, Bobble? Saw your video a little while ago. Thanks for the kind words, and I'm sure I echo that for everybody else. Hi, Mrs. How you doing? Yeah, I just thought I'd do it live tonight since I didn't get to. I got to keep my streak. I got to keep my Carlos streak going. So, I've been doing this for a while. I didn't get to my dad's till after 10 last night, so I'm still a little beat.
That traffic was a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, I cut over to 301 and came back that way. A lot more stoplights, but I missed a lot of it.
Yeah.
What's up, Dean? How you doing, brother?
I told her I could not believe on a Sunday when everybody's talking about like the economy and gas prices.
Yeah.
The
Hey, Brad, missed you
way,
show, brother.
I think it added like an hour and a half to our trip just to try. And every time it'd say an accident, and there was no accident. I don't know what the hell was going on yesterday.
I know that rain really showed everything. Oh, what's up, Blinded? How you feeling? Are you one of the ones that everyone's talking about, Andy? Or you feeling all right, bud? I guess we were at a super spreader.
Speaking of Andy, he's one that the missus yelled at me, and so yesterday I was running around trying to find folks that I had gotten a chance to meet and talk to and take photos with. Mm-hmm. And he was one, I believe, had already left. So Andy definitely was had a hell of a time, man. Glad I got to meet you. Thank you for coming up and introducing yourself. I was the idiot. I'm not a selfie person. So
I'm the same way. I just started clicking them off when I started doing them. I think I got Andy. I was kind of checking right there. I think me and Andy. I was trying to get that big group back there. Hey, Robert, what's up, bud? Robert, great guy. I heard a rumor that Andy bought stuff. That's not a rumor. It's on video as well. Check out Mike's Day 4, was it, Andy? It's on there. Andy bought a couple of things. That was a nice one there, Andy. If you're going to buy something, go out. And it was vintage baseball. Wow. I mean, that was the other thing that surprised me.
is very rare too. If it's the one I'm thinking of, you're talking about,
Yeah,
because he quizzed someone I forgot to mention in my video earlier. Ryan from Breakout Cards. I forgot to mention him, but I remember Andy was quizzing him on it. Gave him 15 seconds to guess what the card was.
What's up, Reese? I'll see you in a few months. Unfortunately, I'm one of the ones that tested positive. I'm starting to feel better, though. Okay, good. Yeah, I guess. I wonder what I got it 6 weeks ago, probably. So I'm wondering, if I should call my work or what's going on. Yeah, Robert's have it already. Yeah, you go through that, Robert. Don't get in that going on eBay and start buying, because once you get that thing going, it's hard to stop sometimes. I know that from the past, but it's kind of going through stuff tonight. I didn't get home till 4 or 5. Y'all saw my PO box when I took a picture and showed y'all. So I still have that to go through. A couple of eBay guys was wondering if I got their stuff, and I got to check. I still haven't gone through it yet, but I did see what you posted so far, Bobbles. So I agree with you. The town, we talked about it in the house, that all they got to do is a little upkeep in that town and be so much better. But
I'm gonna tell you what, the amount of money they take in tolls, I don't know how the roads aren't better.
They surely don't update their toll booths. Jesus Christ.
Hell no.
Look like something from the 50s or 60s. One of them looked like a toilet that I was throwing quarters in. I was like, what is this?
So I drive, you've seen my car, but for the audience there, just to tell you, and I don't know how many people drove like the East Coast or whatever, or flew or went over to Philly, what have you. But I drive a Charger with a Hemi. And I think I spent more in toll booths than I actually did in gas. And I put 93 octane in my car. So that tells you how much the tolls cost heading up to Atlantic City. And the roads, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that money. So
yeah, and the whole thing, Mob still runs Jersey, money just disappears. That's probably so. But I mean, I don't know. I tried to add it up on the way back, and I just said, screw it. And who carries around change anymore? It's bad enough you want me to carry around dollar bills. Then you ask for $1.30 in coins. I mean,
or $4.40.
Yeah, you're just telling people, hey, go ahead and run it if we can read your license. I can't believe they got the toll booths from 1928, and they got like a 2023 camera going on to take pictures. Oh, here we go. Now we got the Nats, man.
Oh, here he is.
Chico's bail bondsman.
Let freedom ring, baby.
What's going on?
Was rough on the tires as well. Really, Philly that bad too? Man, yeah. So for me, I'm just like you, man. That the inside of there was awesome. I mean, that was probably nicer than Cleveland. I still think Cleveland has more space and better food. But, it seemed like the Ubers can get out, could get out and in. So when I took a Uber, it was not that bad. I went to the boardwalk a couple of days to eat lunch. So see that, Nats, man? Andy, missed you.
Everybody missed you, brother.
Yeah.
Look out, Chicago, though.
AC is a delightful town. Mike said he's feeling a little under the weather. So,
Scott, you were mentioning that about, and y'all were talking about the condition of the city and everything. Mm-hmm. I was watching videos and of some of the YouTubers that I follow that are in the community that went to the show, mm-hmm. and some others that didn't. So, like, I did a search on YouTube for National Sports Card, 2020, let's see, whatever.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I saw was location, location, location. And that was the biggest gripe. It wasn't the actual facility like what you're talking about. Everybody was positive about how it was laid out, how nice the building was, but where it was at, how to get to it, how long it took to get to it, how far parking was out, how bad parking was, and the just getting to the facility. The facility itself was nice, but that seems like that was the biggest gripe that I saw, not being at the National and watching videos.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right? Or
for me, yeah. The problem with parking, there wasn't enough of it, because you also have what's that?
I've got us up on the big screen muted so I can see the comment.
Yeah. Oh, you see what Mike said?
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Dr. Sloop. I heard it wasn't enough because you also had that big outlet mall right there, and the beach is not that far away. So you're sharing parking with all of that. And there's a really nice mall right there. I mean, we talked about it. Between the casino, the outlet mall, and the convention center, that town is set up for big things, but they just don't care about everything else. They just let it just where we were staying at, that row of houses right there was just as nice as any other beach town that I've gone to. But getting to it, I mean, we had a Rucker Park thing. I bet you going to that basketball, we probably would have saw some of the best basketball in the country.
Oh man, they were getting down over there.
Yeah, and they were having a great time. That's awesome. It was a place for everybody to go. It seemed friendly. No, they didn't have police over there. It just seemed like they were having a good time. But sorry to hear that, Four Leaf. Hope you're doing all right, brother. Yeah, I from what I'm hearing too, that was going to probably be the last time it's there.
Oh my God. How many people has gotten COVID since they've been there?
It's a super spreader event is what it sounds like. So I know one whole house got it, except for one person. And now Four Leafs got it.
Well, at least
I have not heard anybody from our spot yet.
So I haven't either.
I'm hoping that's a positive. Well, I don't even know I can't say a positive thing, but y'all know what I mean.
Right. And I mean, that's like, I'm getting chills right now. So I'm hoping
yeah, I'm sure. I think we've all had it. I think Bible said you've had it as well, right?
Yeah, me and the missus both had it in October.
We've all had
it. So
and I don't
the positive, the good thing. I'm tired of saying positive. The good thing about having it already, is body's built up some immunity to it. So
yeah, you got some antibodies.
Hopefully everybody out there, if you do happen to have gotten it, you'll be able to fight it off really quickly. So
hey, Eric Four Leaf, let us know, brother, how you doing out there, either through your channel or group chat or something. We're all on Facebook and everything else. This go around is better than my first go around. Okay. Yeah, my first go around, like I said, it was probably 6-7 weeks ago. And I think it's supposed to keep you good for 2 or 3 months. That's what I'm hearing, but you just don't know with this thing. That might become the biggest story that comes out of this. Hey, Don, have you heard, how you doing, Don, first thing, but how is your house with the COVID? Have you heard anything with your house? I know with HIPAA, we got to be kind of careful.
Man, my brother-in-law's had it 3 times.
Yeah, I know people have had it 3 times.
He's around a lot of older folks though. So
yeah, see, this Mike just texted me and now he's putting it on here. I didn't want to put it out there for it. So I've avoided it. My streak might be. I'm telling you, Mike, the people that's got it, if you don't get it this time, you're doing something right. You need to let me in on it. No one that I know of. Okay, that's good because it's, I guess,
well, that house that Andy and them and JT were staying in, it might have been in the walls.
And they all were in the same car together. But it seems like everybody in that house except for Mike has got it right now. So that's what I think Mike said.
Well, saying a prayer for everybody. Hope y'all get to feeling better, and it doesn't get any worse than what it is.
So that's, and I tell you, Don, we were all together, close proximity, sitting at a table, sitting somewhere.
It's one of those things now, though. You're going to get. I mean, there's no way not to really get it anymore. One came home with me. That's funny.
I'm a hugger at the price you pay. I'm the same way for Lee.
Yeah.
I love my man hugs, man.
To Nat's man's point about the location thing, and just
Right.
to chime in a bit on that.
Yeah.
With the parking thing, I think the garage that you got the parking pass for, I didn't have any problems ever getting in or out of that. I think it was in a pretty decent spot. The issue with it was it did have, like a 10-minute walk to the convention center itself. And obviously after being at the show, walking for how many hours every day, it was just kind of like, shit, I got to make that walk again. And so, like, what I did on Friday, I almost didn't even go to the show. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. I'm here. I've been waiting on this. I'm going. But what I did do is, instead of driving, I Ubered that day. That way, got dropped off at the front, avoided that walk. And then that was also the day that I sat down with Dave and found some value boxes. And I think like 3/4 of that day, I was actually sitting, just digging through value boxes. Glad you like the cup, brother. So I kind of used that. I told the missus I was using it as halftime. And that was my day that I was going to be lazy and dig through value boxes and stuff. And
your famous last words. Didn't you ride over there with me that day?
No, I Ubered that day. I rode back with you.
Because the last words I heard was, I'm only going to stay half a day.
Yep.
And I'm walking out and I'm like, what happened? Did you ride back with me that day? I can't remember.
I believe I rode back with you. I called her at 3:00 and she was going to call an Uber to come back and pick me up. And then I was like, it's not much longer. So I just went ahead and stayed.
Right.
But yeah, I just used that day as like my halftime. It was the middle day of the whole week. And I was like, all right, I'm not so bad now. So, but yeah, after a while, plus I'll tell you the one tip for anybody, and it's a known tip. Make sure, even if you buy new shoes, that the shoes are going to be good to walk like 1,300 miles in a day. Because what I found out is I bought a new pair of shoes and they were really comfortable, but being on them all day, like, 12,000 steps or whatever it was, I was an idiot and should have bought wide shoes, and I didn't. And so my shoes were too narrow. So my feet started swelling on me. So that's a tip. Make sure just because you buy new and they're comfortable, that walking a marathon, they're still comfortable.
I had two pair. I switched back and forth too. That was a big help this year. This was the first year I went all 5 days. So, and my feet still swollen. My ankles were swollen that one night. So when I got there, they didn't hurt, but they were just swollen. Big man problems. So, but for me, the overall, it just seemed like the show, yes, was in a bigger building. How it was laid out, though, it felt like less dealers, more, the big, Tops and all of that was there. But I guess they said it was more dealers there this year. It's just how it was set up for me. It was broken up.
I mentioned that in my video. I didn't like the layout. Well, I liked the show. It was the layout was weird how the dealers were separate. Because then you had to remember, were they on this side or this side? And
it's been mentioned before, and I wish almost that they would put them in. They had other rooms there. Just put the corporate guys somewhere else. Leave the dealers in there. And still make us go to the corporate area to get your free pack or whatever. But with W Vogs, we'll do that Wednesday. I might show some stuff. won't have everything I show. But anyway, the corporate area, and I guess they're going to make that even bigger next year, from what I hear at the Chicago. They're going to make Chicago bigger. It just they're moving the whole. For people that's been to Chicago, they're moving the autograph area completely out of there to another area. I think you'll still be able to get to it, but it's going to be in a totally different area. That to make me walk through there, it was nice to walk through the carpet, but the setup to me was a little janky. I agree with you totally there, Bobbles. I don't understand breakers there either. I don't understand the reasoning for them. I don't.
That was going to be my question. How was the breaker set up and whatnot? That looked like the Price is Right, to quote Mike, baseball collector.
Well, Bobble said it in our preview. It looked like but they were trying to make a boardwalk theme thing over there. But for breakers, you still have to go online to be in the break. They're just filming it at the show.
I don't know how they were doing it. Now, I will say they were over near the VIP area, and the phones did work better over there. So maybe that was part of it. Maybe the signal was better over there. I didn't feel that those were. I'm surprised that it wasn't more annoying than it was, or loud or anything. I really didn't. I didn't go over in that area except for when we were walking into the show, and I didn't notice them. So that was kind of surprising to me, or maybe I just ignored them. I don't know. But I only noticed it when we first walked in. Obviously you have to walk through that area, and at 9:30, nobody was really on doing anything yet. So.
Right, and they're only there when they're breaking stuff. That'll be next year, Don. You can bring it next year, wear it. I'll sign it. Yeah, it was a lot of yelling and shouting, but Saturday and Sunday, the Topps booth, you're going to get that. That's when they start doing their stuff for kids. The Saturday and Sunday, they do the Pack Wars.
Apparently,
that's what I'm talking about, Eddie. Is like nobody really even goes over there because there's nothing to really see. I mean, I don't know. It's weird to me that they're there. What's the purpose? So
I'm guessing the Zero Cool music was like revenue based, because my stream that I was able to get working when I was waiting in line for those Stranger Things cards got copyright. It got copyright claimed. I didn't know what the music was. I was hoping it was revenue free.
Oh, you got a copyright claim on your video?
Yeah, the one that I did where I was waiting in line for the
you gotta be careful with that.
Cards. So that would have been Rick, an issue.
Yeah, Rick, I owe you a shirt, brother. I need your address. Yeah, the Whatnot guys were very obnoxious. A lot of the older vintage guys up front was complaining about the Zero Cool 2 music. That wasn't for everybody, but it was there for a purpose. I understood the purpose, even if I might have not liked the purpose. But they're trying to sell some non-sport stuff too, which is fine by me.
There was a song that dropped a word that I was highly shocked that was blasted over the speaker at that show.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah. And not a curse word, but a very offensive word.
Oh, really? Well, see,
if y'all seen
they got to be cool, That's that Josh Luber thing. So,
what'd you say, Nats?
Have y'all seen the video from Panini's VIP party? Any videos from that? It looked like an awesome setup, but there was like nobody out dancing, and
well, I mean,
$68,000.
Yeah, you
I
got
mean,
a bunch of nerds.
I would have been out there going, you know, let's go streaking on the
Long the quad.
quad. Yeah.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody-
But yeah, yeah. Only thing I saw was the clips from Mike's thing.
yeah. It looked cool. It looked like it was really awesome. It was just like JT had more moves than the most of the people in the back that I saw.
Yeah, but I think that's one of those VIP things where everybody's grandparents and parents are trying to be hip. You know what I'm saying? The VIP
It was $68,000 a ticket. I don't even know why there was anybody there.
at the
Period.
Panini one.
The Panini party.
No, that
Yeah.
This is the VIP
VIP NFT party.
NFT.
Well, the NFT party was cheaper, but the actual Panini party, that was $68,000
Yeah.
a ticket.
And I heard, I guess
That was the one Iverson was at, signing just card after card after card after card.
So I guess what they were doing was like the people that had the silver and gold packs, that's where they're trying to get their money back on it. I'm just like, because I heard a lot of people are like, y'all were talking about it the night before, the cases they were giving out. A lot of people were,
that party used to be 10 grand.
Yeah.
You know, and it had a lot more to it. This year it was $68,000 a person. So
right. I
was kind of pointed in the VIP room for the video that you showed, Bobbles. I mean, that's just a banquet hall. I mean,
Nats, I'll tell you, me and the missus got the super VIP. I said it in my video. We got the all access super VIP pass. Lesson learned. It wasn't worth it. It was nice having the parking pass because then you didn't have to worry about a place to park every day. You knew you could go over to that garage and get entrance into it. But as far as the stuff that was in the package, it was not worth it. Like James and Shay got the 5-day early entry, so they got in 30 minutes early, just like we did it every day. The only thing they didn't have was the parking pass, really. The books that they put in there that were supposed to be for VIPs, those were like stacked out, laying on tables for the general public to just pick one up. It was no advantage. The autograph people, it was nobody I was interested in. So
Al Bumry.
Yeah,
Al Bumry was on there.
It was a lesson. I'm gonna say I paid for a lesson, but I paid a lot of money for a lesson.
I pay for VIP, so I have somewhere to go sit my big butt down when I want to. But see, the 5-day early thing gets to sit back there too. So I'm like, if they offer that in Chicago, that's what I want to buy.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, at this national, that was the largest VIP section I've ever seen. Chicago used to have a big one. They cut it in half and had the biggest crowd I ever had. It was nowhere to sit in there. So I went out and sat in the hallway.
Well, there's talk that there's going to be new ownership of the national, at least putting on the show or whatever, however that goes.
Well,
Nothing's been confirmed, but there's talk out there. There's 3 new blood in it. With that being said, they're saying that it's going to be in Chicago, Cleveland, Chicago, and a question mark. Well, what do you think may be added or changed, or if you had any recommendations for them for, say, Chicago or Cleveland?
I got a thing to add to what you just said. So I found this out from a dealer, how it works. So a group comes every 4 years and offers their plan to the board for the next 4 years. Once their plan is done, then another group or the same group can offer up 4-year plan, and they pick the best one. The board does. So that's why when they're saying there's new blood, that's what it is. It's not like new ownership or new board. It's just somebody presenting something new.
The promoters, basically.
Right? Whatever it is. So Chicago, they need to open up more floor space. Have the entrance further down. They have plenty of floor space there. They just don't use it. I know it's a money thing, but they're making their money. All they can do, they can add as many vendors as they want. And then in Cleveland, they don't really need to do it. They can't build food places and hotels out in the parking lot before the show. So that's the worst thing about Cleveland is there's nothing around it. So you have to either carpool or shuttle over. And I didn't have an issue with that. Just Uber to wherever everybody's hanging out. You know, it's just a lot of people were at my hotel the year I went to Cleveland, but I just didn't know anybody that year. So,
Bobbles, with going to Atlantic City, what would be your recommendations? I know you haven't been to either facility, but what would be your thoughts on it?
On the show itself?
With the new promotional group coming in for 4 years, you know, it's going to, with once you being a first timer in Atlantic City is your first time. It's going back to Chicago. I know you've not been to Chicago, you've not been to Cleveland. What are some things that you would, if you had the opportunity to say, hey, here's some ideas, do's and don'ts for your customers coming in to be at the show?
Other than like I mentioned, the dealers, the setup. I know they want the corporate space to be the showcase, so that's why they're in the middle. But other than the dealers being split like they were, the convention center itself is an awesome facility. As someone mentioned, like even the bathrooms, all that, they were for the most part clean, well kept. I didn't go to any of the food vendors. I know the missus did. She said the food was a little bit pricey. They were running out of food. People were complaining about that. But personally, I don't know.
that's a good one, Don.
Yeah, well, the only thing with that at Atlantic City, if you're talking Chicago or Cleveland, maybe Atlantic City, I'll tell you another thing. The front of the convention center is a pain in the ass. To try, like I would go up to pick up, Refractor had stacks of boxes, a trunk load of boxes one day. I went up to pick them up, picked the missus up, and James and Shay from the front. That part of it, maybe some traffic control might help the experience a little bit there, because that
like
was
that.
freaking chaotic.
Yeah. Cleveland's a little bit more straightforward where it doesn't have the loop. Chicago has a circle in front, and it's just a wide circle. It's the same thing. You got to dodge everything.
I think the biggest holdup, because like up against the wall, the taxis were all sitting there. That was understood. I think it was people trying to take the taxi slots that were making a mess, but then everybody walking across the street, because all the parking was this. You had to walk to the. So it was just people also crossing the road right there, and you can't just go and hit somebody. So that's why I say maybe a little bit of traffic control to say, okay, you guys cross and then stop the pedestrians, let some traffic go. That might have made it a better flow. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have too many complaints. I had a hell of a time. The walk from the parking garage, it is what it was. It was, the parking itself was okay in my personal opinion, because we never parked any higher than the second or the third floor. And you could literally park, if you just wanted to keep going up a level, you could park real close to the elevator, so you didn't have to walk in the garage. Yeah. So parking, if you had the pass, wasn't bad. Just to get to the front of the building was kind of sucky.
Did you want to
layout
answer this?
Yes, Chicago 2023 or bust. Look out, Midwest. Little shot.
Curtis South is coming for you.
Is coming up in shot. Even the missus is wanting to go to. She's been to Chicago, like true Chicago before, but she's wanting to go. So I'm gonna be straight. We're gonna. I know where I want to stay. I want to stay in that hotel across the street, easy in and easy out, over street, crosswalk. Solves that walking across the street. Fly in, catch your cab.
Shuttle,
whatever. And
I'll get you on a shuttle, brother.
All right. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and another thing, if anybody, I was watching a little women's pro softball, I guess they have now, and they play the whole league in Chicago, and the field's like 2 blocks away from the convention center. Just thought I'd throw that out there. You'll see it if you fly in. You think it's like a little league park, but it's a women's softball league, field.
That's pretty cool, man.
It's a pretty cool field too.
Wicked.
Haven't seen JJ need to figure out what to say to get the corner of. Wait, I have to say. I got Mrs. Throwing around. You don't have a blue wrench on this channel, Mrs.
So this isn't Nationals talk, but I'm gonna bring it up because
go ahead.
Because Scott's got the Mets hat on, and I got my boy Natsman here, and the Nationals are playing the Mets, and Soto hit his home run tonight. Do you guys think tonight will be his last Nationals home run?
No.
Or do you think he's going to pass the trade deadline?
He's not. And even after the trade deadline, he can go through waivers and still be traded. But I don't think it's going to happen this year. They still got 2 more years after this year of control.
I was saying the same thing to somebody. They thought I was crazy. I was like, I don't know that a team has a package put together that the Nationals are willing to let him walk yet. I think they still want to maybe try to sell the team and see if a new owner is willing to up that bounty even more. And I don't think Soto is willing to just give up on the Nationals yet, because he has made statements he would like to play there.
And he was upset that the whole thing broke out like it did.
Yeah.
He didn't want to out.
Yeah, me and my dad talked. My dad, he's a huge Nationals fan. I mean, I like Soto too. I would love to see him in a Mets uniform. And I'm sure the Mets have probably offered something, but I'm sure it fell through pretty early because the Mets have picked up 2 other guys. But that's what every time somebody offers something, they want the top 2 guys in their minors plus 2 major leaguers.
That's why it makes more sense for free agency, and that's why I think the Mets.
They also
crazy. I think the Mets have the best option when it's all said and done to buy him.
So as it gets closer to the All-Star break of 2024, what they can get is going to get lesser and lesser, right? So right now they're in the driver's seat. They can ask for whatever they want and see if somebody's going to give it to them or not. But as they get closer to that All-Star break in 2024, that's going to change. So we'll see.
But the Yankees ain't going to get him. The Dodgers ain't going to get him. The
Yankees don't have anything in their minor league system. So.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Well,
they're not going to give up Volpe.
Not for trade.
I also heard that the Nationals were putting a stipulation in there that I guess in that package, whatever team was putting it together had to take Patrick Corbin's contract. And that's pretty rough one to take on. So that's like the Nationals' second highest paid player behind Strasburg, and he's just not earning his money. So
no, he sucks.
I
think that's a big do we really want to pay that?
The problem with the Nationals is, and I get it, you want good people working for you, like on the ballpark, on the ball field for you. They're good people. So they're going to make good teammates and they're going to win. Even when they lose, they're still going to be positive. Mm-hmm. But if you're strapped, that is the main reason they re-signed him, was one of the main reasons. Came out of their mouth was that he was such a good person and they enjoyed the working relation. I'm dumbfounded because
I have to say
that he plays.
I have to say, when they signed Strasburg, I was pretty pissed because that meant Rendon was going to walk.
Yep.
But right now it was a catch-22 because Rendon's been nothing but injured too. So it was like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they had signed Rendon and he suffered the injuries as well, we'd be in the same thing. Oh, they should have kept Strasburg. So at this point, it didn't matter either contract. And if they had let both of them leave, the fan base would have went and raised hell at Nats Park. So they were kind of screwed in that deal. So, and no, he sucks. Straight facts from Big Scott. Oh, man. All right, so I just wanted to throw that in there because
No,
it popped up.
that's a great one because that is a hot topic right now, and I just think I think they're asking way too much, and it's smart on there. See if somebody's going to pay the ransom or not. See, but the way I feel is like, okay, the Mets can give up uh, Alvarez and Brett Beatty, okay, and give up maybe even McNeil and an outfielder to get Soto, and I'm like, okay, what?
They're not going to do what they did on a Harper trade. They're not going to make that same mistake.
Well, they didn't trade Harper, did they?
Well, no, they let him walk.
Yeah, they let him walk. They didn't get anything for him.
Yeah, but they're not going to let that happen.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. But as you get closer and closer to All-Star break 2024, they can't ask for less, right? I mean, can't ask for anything more. What they're going to get back is going to be less and less every time.
And as soon as Soto would go to the Phillies, you'd see Mike-O with a 22 jersey on.
He was sporting that Harper jersey.
He'd be sporting a Soto jersey.
He picked up some Harpers. What's up, Lou Rock? Yeah, and he keep it up. I'm going to make a powder blue Big Sky shirt just for him, just so he get off my back. Powder blue with the red Big Sky on it, just so he'll for him and Papa O. For all my Philly guys up there.
You need to, and then put the quote on the back for Harper once he went to the Phillies. We're excited to bring home a championship for Washington.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper.
Better than the Mets version. Yeah, sure. Whatever. I'll bring the Flyers version. Really confuse you.
He actually that was for Denver, Micah, the Denver Broncos. He told us at the house that you were going to think it was for the Mets, but he's secretly a Denver Broncos fan.
You can make it for this. Blue and orange is pretty basic.
Oh wait! Just say it's for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Well, it's black. Flyers are black.
They got the orange in there.
It's orange and black, but that's what I told her. You can do it. You can say it's the Flyers. So, I think my biggest takeaway from the show this year, for me was just how much the fun of it. I felt like I know I've heard a lot of negative stuff, but I felt like the dealers were very interactive. I didn't have any issues with them. I mean, once I started talking to them, they wanted to chit chat. If you sat down at the table, they were willing to chit chat. I thought it was a very fun because of that. Everybody got along great to me. I know I heard some people saying there was some
poison stuff.
You're going to have how many dealers are there? If two of them are assholes, I'll take that percentage, right? I mean, that's kind of the way I feel. And it was just so much. Thanks, Don. Yeah, so I just, I feel like with that one, and I talked about it before, and I was looking even harder to make sure my brain and my eyes were seeing it right last year, and I still could be very wrong. The diversity that's growing in this hobby at these shows like this is great. All that does is bring more people to the hobby, which that makes the hobby healthy. I'd rather bring in more money by real hobby collectors than big money, right? We have more people, that's the same amount of more money than one person with a lot of money. And I just felt like it was all ethnicities, all sexes, binaries, whatever you want to call yourself. It just seemed like it was just a great group of diversity there. And I welcome that. That's where you get different views. Some work, some don't work. More ideas just brings better things. Yeah, Sean says the same thing here. Agree. Overall, the vibe was super positive, except for people getting dinged with Pelican cases. Yeah,
So
I think last year's vibe was a lot more electric. People were so excited. This year was less excitement, but more positivity, more people just talking to each other that don't know each other from Adam, right? And then we've all said it. We're all got something in common. So, it just felt like, that was what was going on there.
So on my side of it, because I know you didn't bring anything with you to sell or
Right.
trade or anything like that. So on that end of it, I only brought a few cards with me. Um, a couple of which I knew was going to have some good interest at the show, which they did. However, the dealers were hesitant on making any buys or trades because they couldn't look up comps, and that
Right.
was a factor. In
Oh,
fact,
100.
I didn't make a deal off of any of the stuff I brought, even though like every dealer would ask me a price. And then when I told them the price and what the last sale price was, it was almost like they just didn't believe me. I don't know if it was because I know how, to work back and forth. The dealer wants money, on his end to be able to have a little meat on the bone. So I don't come in with, hey, this sold for $1,100. I want $1,099.99 and only leave him a penny for profit. I
Right.
know that what I have into the card, what I can give it to him for to make me happy, but enough there for him to make a
Yeah.
little bit of
Room there.
chunk too. So it was difficult to negotiate that way because they couldn't see like prices. And you could tell it was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it goes for. The other side of that, I'll say on Friday, as I mentioned, I sat down, I dug into value boxes. Now I've sat and looked through some of the stuff I bought, and that kind of stuff I'm not too worried about. If a card priced is $6 and it's sold for $4, big whoop, you got taxes, shipping, all that crap in there. The issue I had is the guy where I was at with Dave was great. Like I had dating as Dave, I think you've seen it too. I had a stack of cards, and that man, like I told him, I was like, "Can you give me a total? That way I know where I'm at." Because I'm finding so much cool stuff. I want to keep going, but I also know I only have so much cash in my pocket. So let me see where I'm at. And he like he cut Dave great deals too. But then later in the day, I went to another dealer and was looking through his stuff. And I could not believe that. So I had $1,558 worth of stuff out of his value boxes. And when I say value boxes, he had cards that were anywhere from $5 to probably $100 in these boxes. So it wasn't just like, a huge stack of $2 cards or whatever. It was
Right.
various pricing. But my total sticker value was $1,558. Normally a dealer is pretty good and like, hey, you're moving a lot of inventory out of my box, and they'll give you a deal, right? Because that's the stuff they're just trying to move. And this dealer was like, I'll do it for 1,500. He was giving me $58 discount, and that's nice. But when you're at 50, like the other guy, I wasn't even at 1,500. He gave me a couple $100 off, and I was very tempted to just put the cards back in the box and walk away because I was like, all right, this guy is just kind of being an ass right now, in a sense, Instead, I pulled some of the cards that I knew they were iffy cards. Like I just tossed them in there for the hell of it. Cool cards, but not ones I was really needing for that price point. And I removed like 400 and some dollars, I think, out of my pile on like 8 cards or something. So that immediately, instead of him giving me if he would have gave me like a $200 discount, he could have essentially made $200 more dollars off of me. Instead, I pulled the cards out and discounted the pile myself because I didn't need those cards. They weren't ones I was very sold on or attached to at the price they were on. But then I went further and I looked at some of his prices, and he was actually the first dealer was pretty good with his prices. This guy actually was a bit higher. So not only was he not discounting more, he had more stuff that was priced, a little bit over what stuff was selling for. So it just goes to show some guys were literally penny pinching. You know, it's hard for someone to just walk up to your table and pull out $1,500 and from your value box. That's a good bit of their table fee or booth fee or whatever. Um, so that was just kind of a spectrum on both ends, and I do feel the internet was a huge play, on on folks willing to negotiate on both sides of the table, both coming in and going out. I had never heard a dealer before tell me, "Well, that's a card I won't trade." I had one guy, I wanted a Gretzky auto. I was giving him a great offer in a trade and he was like, "Well, how much do you want for these to buy them?" But he wouldn't trade me, and I was like, "Wait, you wanna pay me cash for then me turn around and buy the card from you? Why can't we just trade? Why do I have to, like, recycle the cash back in, you know? Why are you gonna buy this from me so I rebuy this off of you?" Didn't make any sense to me. They were very odd with that. They didn't wanna trade. They just wanted to either buy or sell. So just some of the things I've seen with the dealers.
Yeah, I did hear. Well, the thing with the internet, that's become our crutch. That's why I was so happy that James got this for me before I went in.
I know you had the
I
upper
carried this
hand.
around and I made out. I had the comps the whole time, so I was ready.
That's why you didn't notice it with the dealers.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute, you need a comp? I can get it for you. I got my tough stuff. We're good. Was there any cards?
I'll let you answer first, and then
Yeah, we'll post this. Let me read. Was there any cards there you didn't just buy that you may regret because you second guessed? Maybe a dumb question, but feel like I do that, and B, who knows when there's another. Yes and no. There was, and this is odd for me. I didn't even bring it up. I looked at 2 Babe Ruth cards while I was there this week. I don't have a game like a true round plate pre-war Babe Ruth, right? I just don't. And I feel like I should to be a true collector. You get a mind where if I'm a collector, there's some things you're supposed to have, and that's one. And they were very. The one I was looking at wasn't going to break my bank, or nothing like that.
Was it a 34 Sonella?
I can't remember. What is that? Is that like a big card or something?
No, it's not a huge card. It's actually a great card. It has a wonderful image on it. It's oversized than a normal.
It might be it because the one I was looking at was an oversized card, and it's him swinging. It's got his patent swing, at finishing.
Yeah, and, it was probably 1934 Sonella.
I think you're 100. God, you're in my brain. Get out. You might not like what you see. So I don't know if I really regret it because I've seen that card around. I kind of thought about it on my way home. Like, I had the chance. I was thinking about going back. I didn't go back and get a poster and 2 pops, but I can find those on eBay anytime I want to. But that's a great question. It was not dumb, Colorado Sports Dude. I'm dumb, so I like dumb questions. Make them easy for me. Go ahead there, Bubbles.
So there was 2 cards. When I went yesterday, there was actually I left earlier than I planned yesterday. 1, I was hoping it helped with the traffic, but for 2, there was 2 cards or 2 deals I was hoping to make that the dealers had left, unfortunately. So that kind of bummed me out. It's not that I can't find them again, but one was the Wayne Gretzky. The guy didn't want to trade me for it, but the card I was looking to trade for the card, I actually sold to another person at the show. Funny story. Walked up to a dealer's table, pulled my cards out, set them on the display case, And as I like had him sitting there, the guy was like, "Hey, are you selling that?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you're interested." And he asked me how much, and I told him what I wanted. He was like, "Hey, let's do it." And so I sold it to him. And then the dealer I actually was going to show my stuff to, he was one of those assholes. This is the only dealer, and everybody that knows me, I'm an SGC guy, do bulk subs. I had all SGC except for one card. No dealer had an issue at all with SGC except this guy. And the funny thing is, I've dealt with him before. He's local, about an hour away from me, and he's just a complete ass. I have been to his shop one time, and
I like this guy already. I like assholes.
yeah, it's well, this is your channel, or I would call him out. But anyway,
Yeah, please don't. I don't like. Yeah.
It's Hit and Run Sports Cards. He's near Winchester, Virginia. I
Oh,
can't
I know
remember the
exactly
exact.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, I pulled my cards. I set them there, and it was some Bowmans and stuff. And he was like, "Well, I definitely don't want SGC." Only dealer that had any issue. Like you've seen how much SGC was not only in dealers' cases but in attendees' hands. It was awesome to see. This guy didn't even look at my cards, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway. Oh, did you say don't?
What?
I'm sorry if you didn't want me to say the name, but anyway.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I was just putting it out there.
I know who it is. It's no big deal.
Yeah. So there was a Wayne Gretzky autograph I was looking for, and then there was Mrs. had seen a Santa and Mrs. Claus. They were the autographs. It was some special set from the Super Bowl, and there was a dealer there that had those. I was going to buy the Gretzky and the Mrs. and Santa. The Santa and Mrs. Claus, but both dealers had packed up and left yesterday. They weren't even there to start the show, so I didn't get those. So went around, talked to folks, and I picked up, I don't know, a couple things, just not anything big.
Yeah, did I tell you I got a Gretzky auto?
Not at the show, you didn't.
Yeah, we were talking about it the night before that happened.
I thought you said you owned one, but I didn't know you picked one up.
Oh no, I didn't buy one at the shop. I got one.
Yeah, that's right. You told me you had one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just playing. I'm picking again. You know how I am,
man.
I like to pick.
The thing with that one was the dealer was asking $450 for it, and that was the cheapest price I could find on a Gretzky auto in the entire show.
See, I bought it before hockey kind of did a little, so mine was a lot cheaper than that. But that's also a in-person auto. Yeah, so Colorado, a wise man once said, "Today's high prices is tomorrow's bargains, man." So if you ever listen to those back pages, that's one of his great quotes.
You cry, I buy.
That's right. He had that T-shirt on this weekend. It was awesome. And then he goes, you need to watch, I don't push Mike Moynihan's channels a lot, but he's got good content. So if you watch his day 3 or day 2, it's him at the tops. And I guess those back pages want something, but he had to do something in front of the room. And he had the milk carton shirt on saying, "Where's the Bowman Heritage? Missing Bowman Heritage or whatever."
Missing since
2021.
I shared
and
that
one of the guys
in the
from Tops
group and everything. Yeah, I forgot all about that product, but yeah, that was supposed to have been out.
Yeah, and he had it right in front, right into that room with the Tops execs.
Because that
one
was
of the executives wanted a shirt.
Well, that was something they sent us for the Montgomery Club, like an email about it.
I have done some. Most of the time, you're going to get like 50 to 60%, unless you're really, really shrewd. I'll let Bobbles answer this because he sells a lot more than I do to dealers.
So what percentage of comps can you usually get for your cards at the show? Two things play into that. one, if you're trying to sell or if you're trying to trade, I guess, or trade plus cash, etc. The percentage of comps can vary. I've worked both ends of the table. Like I've set up at shows as a dealer. I've also, go to shows and sell at shows. Personally, setting up as a dealer is great for cards coming to you to purchase because you never know what's going to walk up to your table. That's one reason why dealers sometimes get so much cool stuff. And then dealers are always going to try to buy at a bargain.
Mhm.
I like actually selling at the show without the table. So buying is great if you're set up. Selling is great to walk around because you can get like the Bowman stuff. I was looking for dealers with Bowman at the National. There wasn't a ton of Bowman, believe it or not a ton of prospect cards. As far as what I try to do, I know what the dealer's going to want. They're going to want to be at about 80% to start off, and they're going to work you. They're going to try to work you down from there. They may start at 70, and you might be able to work up to 80. Most are going to be in that 70 to 80 range. For me to sell, it kind of depends on what the card is, what I have into it, what I think the future of the card is, or is it something I'm attached to and not really looking to sell, or something that I'm willing to let go of. I'm not. I don't really mind the 75%, even 80% sale at a show, because you got to figure a few things when you're selling on eBay. People only think about eBay fees, but you're getting that 1099 as well. Them sales are gonna show up on there. So if you're getting a cash deal or a card, not even talking cash, but a card, and I'll go ahead and show. I haven't shown any of the pickups yet, but this is
Hey,
an
before
example.
you get started on that, I just want to tell y'all have a good evening. It's time for my meds. So
Yeah, keep us informed, brother.
Yeah,
all right,
have a
I'll
good
be
night,
good.
man.
Love
We
you,
missed
man.
you 100%. So
Much love, boys.
All right,
Hashtag
fella.
out.
That's right.
Y'all be good. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
So here's an example of one. I did this on a straight up trade, and people are probably gonna wonder why in the hell I got this card, but it's a Justin Tucker Contenders Auto.
I know why.
This is a sneaky card. People wouldn't believe if they looked up what that card sold for. Now, I sold a prospect card of a guy I really like. I moved one of my Brady House that I had, but I was into literally nothing on that Brady House. I have a auto from House. I have some other cards from Brady House. I have a Logo Man auto of his. So it was easier for me to move out of the card I traded for that. I am a Ravens fan. The missus, loves Tucker. He went to University of Texas. So she's a big fan of him. He's an awesome kicker, holds the record for longest kick. He's the most accurate Super Bowl winner. So that card had a lot of stuff going for it as well. Most likely a Hall of Famer. And so I was looking at it as I was still getting a card of a guy that is on a team I'm a fan of, but who is most likely also a future Hall of Famer. And that's legit like his best rookie card. So that's kind of a deal. I didn't get full value that I would have preferred to sell the house for, but I traded it into a card that I really like as well. So to answer the question, like Four Leaf said, dealers were saying 70%. If it's something they're really, really interested in, they will go up. I think the 70 number was to allow them some room, but also they know that the market is soft right now. And they don't know if they buy that at 80% today, where right now they would have a 20% margin. If tomorrow that card doesn't move down and then they're like, at a 10% margin or even possibly even. So in the softer market, I think the dealers are more at a lower percentage. But if it's something they really want, they're gonna pay for it.
Right. And with that, I'm just going to leave this show with a couple of final thoughts on the weekend. Some personal thoughts at the house. Stayed with great people. We all were interested, I bet you, in different things at different angles. We came at this hobby. That was very interesting to listen to everybody at the end of the day, but what they did during the day, that was very interesting to get instant input. James, who's been on here, Gillum, you can't miss this man. He's like 6'8". He's a Yankee fan. You know, my grandma said not everybody can be perfect, but we still gotta love them. But you know, this guy had great eye for some raw vintage. That he brought home some amazing raw vintage every night, and I love talking to him about it. We had JJ who was there with his football. We had Refractor Jones because of his name. He knew everything there was about Refractor. He knew the hobby. It was great listening to his thoughts. Damien, who none of us have ever interacted, but he had great eye appeal for vintage and reasons for buying.
He picked some monsters.
He did have some monsters. You have a picture of them on your
yeah.
I
put it in the video.
You know, so it was always, and even like Shay was looking for stuff. It's always interesting. Sean, you know,
Rob, everybody helping each other. Yeah.
Right. And I was lucky enough to be in like several group chats to everyone. It seems like everyone's looking for a 52 mantle at the National grade the Big Sky Balls. Yeah. I heard that there's a lot of mantles. That's the thing. If you want it and you can afford it, those are out there. So they're not like scarce, but who can afford them even in a one? But you know, I got found one like Bobbles where somebody put a BB through it or something. So I just wanted to say that was a very unique thing, staying in a house with 11 of us or whatever it ended up being. And we all come at this hobby at a different way. And it made the talks, the chats that at night very interesting. I sat and listened. And if anybody can believe that, I was quiet most of the time listening to what's going on, to take it in. Yeah.
I got 352s.
That's right. Did you got the fake one we all got in our bag?
Oh no! Shoot, I forgot. I got 5. Then I forgot about those 2.
Yeah,
these were ones I bought.
I gave mine to James. You know, I really would have liked to sat down and had a one-on-one with James on my channel with some of that stuff he picked up. I told him that I got a ceramic 52. You know, everybody, it was great. And also, you know, I also want to get ready for next year. Nats Man, the fam. I think this year for the communities, a lot of communities came together. That Thursday night, I saw more crossover in communities than I did last year. You had Hobby Lobby, you had all of us with Bobbles, you had, you know, Mike Moorhan, Mike O. It was just great seeing everybody over there.
She's sitting there saying I don't count her pickups. I had it in the picture.
Yes.
What she's talking about.
Yeah. So, and thank you, Mrs. This is how great they were. And while they're here, I'm going to make them blush one time. She sat down and found cards for us. She listened to what we collect, and she did that. It was amazing. So I appreciate everything y'all did for it. John, what's up, buddy? Great meeting you. It was great meeting everybody I haven't met before. It's great seeing everybody again. Chantilly in October. I'll be in Philly in December. And I probably don't know after that till next year. I'll start doing my lineup for next year, but I know definitely Chicago at the end of July, 1st of August. So until next Sunday live, hit the like, share, tell a friend. Let's see, Wednesday morning, I will be doing a recording of my pickups. This year, I'll talk a little bit before I show them. A little different than last year. One I will not have. It's getting matted and framed as we speak. So that right there tells you it's a picture. I was very excited. That's probably my biggest pickup of the year, and it didn't cost as much as the other stuff I picked up.
You know,
So,
I don't remember everything that you bought, but I'm going to tell you the picture was awesome. But those 2 cards you showed me yesterday, and they weren't that expensive at all.
Yeah.
Those were pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I did get 5 of them to add to my run. And if y'all watch my channel, you probably know what we're talking about. And I finished. No, it was not a Pete Alonso picture, but he was a Met at one time. One of the people in the picture. So I'll give you one hint. It wasn't this guy either, but I did pick the autograph book up of this. This is your one little thing to see. Let's see here. I got my David Wright autobiography, so I was happy to pick that up. So until Wednesday, please like, share, tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't. I'm gonna wait for Mrs. to start putting 3 number jerseys up to get us ready for next year. So until then, see ya.